even though the damage is, I guess, somewhat minimal, the road is passable. Please, please take it easy as you're heading down any road, any highway that may have been impacted by the storm.
Wise words from the spokesperson for the Arkansas Department of Transportation. Debris covers many Arkansas roads this afternoon, and officials urge everyone to take proper precautions. We've been bringing you team coverage since the storms began last night and throughout Wake Up Central this morning. And we aren't done yet as more systems make their way to the state. Meteorologist Corrales Ortiz is here now with a look at what we need to expect today and really into tomorrow too.
Yeah, we're going to be entering day 2 of what's going to be another active 24 to 48 hours. Tom and Nathan were holding it down yesterday, and just kind of wanted to paint a picture of what we saw. You guys were sharing some of those photos with us yesterday as we started to see some of these storms pop off. And matter of fact, this is what Ariel Alston sent to us. This was over in Pope County at the beginning of it all yesterday evening, and this is a classic look of that supercell storm there that impacted the community of Russellville through the River Valley region, where we did see several reports of some not only severe thunderstorm warnings but also tornado reports as well. Tornadoes were also reported in portions of Pulaski and Lonoke as well, and we're going to be continuing to provide you updates in regards to that. But you also saw hail. Large hail was reported as well, as large as baseball size. Whether it was large or not, a lot of it came down. This is in Austin. It almost looks like it's snow on the ground as well. So it was a very busy night yesterday. We have another round later today. A very warm start to our day. Already in the upper 70s this afternoon, cloudy and breezy. Quiet to start off, but as the day progresses going into the evening hours, we have that round 2 moving on in tonight and into the overnight hours. The risk is a low end compared to yesterday, which was a medium risk, but all severe weather types are in place. So I'll have more details and specifics and what to expect on that just ahead.
This afternoon, a National Weather Service survey team is out in parts of Faulkner, Pulaski, and Lonoke counties assessing storm damage. THV 11's Jade Jackson is live in Mayflower, where some homes and other structures were impacted. Jade, what's the latest?
Well, this is what we're seeing out here in Mayflower. We're in someone's backyard right now, where this was a metal roof that flown off part of this person's house, and you see it landed over here, half of it in the neighbor's yard, with trees falling over. And this is only some of the damage that we're seeing out here in Mayflower. Now, the fire department says they're still surveying damage. City police say there's been no reported injuries, thankfully, but a lot of structural damage to buildings and homes. A lot of windows were knocked out along Dam Road in Mayflower, and power lines are still down in the area on Roberts Drive. As of an hour ago, according to police, there's still no power. Meanwhile, Entergy, Arkansas tells me there's a total outage of about 1,300, with about half of that being in Faulkner County. Those numbers may change as they work on restoration. We're going to be bringing you more with the latest and an update for our 5 and 6 o'clock shows. Stay with us here on THV 11. Reporting live out here in Mayflower, Jade Jackson, THV 11 News.
All right, Jade, we are hearing from a Mayflower man cleaning up this afternoon. You're looking at video that we took last night around 10 o'clock after that storm came through. It looks very similar to where Jade just was. Tommy Witcher says hail damaged his vehicles, and you see the damage to his home too. He describes the moment that the storm hit.
We were sitting in the living room. We had 1 minute, the phone started going off, and the TV just clicked back and said there's been one spotted in Mayflower. And about that time we heard it hit the house. About 1 minute later, we ran to the hallway. 1 minute later, I heard the roof leave.
Tommy Witcher there says he is grateful to be safe this afternoon. Again, we'll keep you updated on the cleanup as it progresses. And as we deal with the threat of more severe weather, download that THV 11 app. It includes the latest headlines as well as an interactive radar that will keep you informed on weather in your area. And you can always watch our live newscasts and special reports. We are learning more this afternoon about a morning shooting at a New York City subway station. Less than an hour ago, investigators updated the public on that incident that left close to 20 people hurt. Authorities say a train was pulling into the 25th Street station when a person on board put on a gas mask, threw a smoke bomb, and started shooting. The police commissioner says they're not investigating this as an act of terrorism, but police are still searching for the man responsible. 10 people were shot, 6 others were hurt during the chaos. But the good news here, we've learned that none of the injuries are considered life-threatening. Stay with us here on THV 11 and THV11.com for the very latest. 3 juveniles have now been arrested by the Jacksonville Police Department. This comes after officials were notified of a, quote, threat to harm list that was initially created by a Jacksonville middle school student, allegedly. All 3 students have been detained by the Jacksonville Police Department pending further investigation. Authorities are investigating a shooting near Pine Bluff High School this afternoon. A viewer shared this video with us from the scene. Police say the gunshots actually happened around 3 o'clock on Monday afternoon near a parking lot between 11th and 12th Streets. There were no apparent injuries at the scene. Officers have detained someone for questioning. We're told that person is under 18 years old. Pine Bluff High School did follow its lockdown protocol when the gunshots were reported. We've seen staffing struggles in just about every industry during the pandemic. Now those struggles are taking a toll on the people who take care of our beloved pets. Industry experts say staffing has always been an issue in the veterinary industry, but COVID has only made it worse. Some clinics have had to shut down completely. Others have turned people away or have employees working really long hours. The manager at Pine Street Animal Clinic in Cabot says several things need to change in order to keep veterinarians in Arkansas.
We're going to run out of veterinarians, and people will have to go out of state to have their dog or cat or snake or rabbit, whatever their animal is, they will have to take it out of state in order to be seen by a doctor.
A lack of a vet school only makes the issue worse. That's why Lyon College announced plans to develop dental and veterinary grad schools in Little Rock. The United Nations Refugee Agency says more than 4.6 million people have fled Ukraine. Tina Kraus shows us how some young refugees on their way out of Ukraine are getting a much-needed break from the misery of war.
This is the most joy Irina Borisevich and her boys have felt since the war in Ukraine began. Their fear and worry vanished for about an hour as seals and dolphins took the spotlight.
Dolphins they are very positive. They don't care about war. They don't care about nothing.
It's a special show for refugees passing through the port city of Odessa to find a safer place to sit out the conflict. Irina says she and her boys barely escaped shelling in Kherson. She says, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even put my children in their beds because they were too close to the windows. The Dolphin Show in Odessa took place just a few miles from where Russian forces bombed an oil refinery just over a week ago. In a region still under threat, everyone is doing their best to keep spirits up. 5-year-old Yvonne says, I loved watching the dolphins jump so high. A splash of happiness for those who need it most. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
A hotel in Ukraine treated refugees to the Dolphin Show and gave families passing through the city free accommodations as well. Still ahead on THV 11 News at noon. Are you tired of masking up on airplanes? That requirement could change soon. What's being considered after Corrales' forecast?
And yeah, it was quite a busy day yesterday weather-wise. There's a live look right now over what the Travs are playing this afternoon. Fortunately, it's an earlier game. Later this evening, more weather, severe weather is on the way.